Hello YouTube, vintage stereo collectors and restorers. This part of Ontario in December, 4 out of 5 days are gloomy, either snowing, freezing rain. Then we'll get one sunny afternoon and the whole world looks better. But the problem I'm having today, when I'm complaining about the weather, is I have a big window behind the camera and there's not much light coming through. And it's hard to, I actually shot this video earlier this morning and just too many shadows, too much darkness. And I wanted to talk about where I'm at with this Fisher 170 receiver. Gotta show you the faceplate. I know you're probably not getting all of it, but I took the faceplate off, cleaned it up. It looked pretty clean, but when I cleaned it up, I actually got yellow on the rag. I took the knobs off, soaked them in dish soap for a couple hours to get all the groove grunge out. There was stuff in the grooves, which is typical, right? Something that's been around for 50 years. And let them dry out, put it back together. I took the glass out, the tuner glass, and cleaned it with 50% isopropyl alcohol, using the dabbing and being very careful not to smear anything. It came up, it was awesome. There's actually kind of a haze on it, which comes from, all those years. It looks really nice now. There's 3 fuse lamps in this. The one in the meter was burned out, and the 2 in the sides looked original as well, but they were still going. And I've actually had some issues with some of the LED fuse lamps, even the ones designed for 8 volts. So this has an 8-volt circuit, like Pioneers and Marances. And so if you use a 6 volt, it's going to have a short life. Anyway, I actually put standard bulbs in, and there's a couple companies that are making them, and I just bought like a box of 100, a little box of 100 of them. The 8 volt ones, so the 8 volt ones can go in circuits that are 6 volts. And they have the warm, nice lighting. I'm just going to, probably won't see it that much. Let's turn that light off. Let's turn it on. It's not as bright as what LED lighting would do. In a slightly dimmer room, it's just the ends of the glass are exposed and the bulbs are facing this way. So it kind of lights it very softly and backlights the meter. Stereo beacon still works. It's in a little incandescent bulb. And I'm going to leave it in for now unless I have an issue with it. A little light on this. This is what I wanted to talk about. What I've been doing, kind of what my game plan is. I've recapped the power supply. And this power supply is actually, it has, the first stage is filtered, it's 42 volts DC, it was a 2200 cap. Was that ever something to get out? It took a while to get it out, because you don't want, this is a big board and you don't want to torque it and twist it. It has 2 connections for the capacitor and 2 for the mounting, plus glue around it. So what I did is I desoldered it the best I could. Tried rocking it, tried putting a little X-Acto knife, couldn't get at it. So sitting here, I just put my plumbing pliers on and grabbed it and just went like that, a little twist to break the glue, and then it came right out. Nothing broken, so lucky with that. I'm just going to show you here. Yes, those are the original fuse lamps. They're a bit dark from age. Yeah, so I redid that mainly because not so much that I was hearing anything when the unit was idle. Sometimes the main filter's gone, but I think one of the caps in the supply line to the tuner board was bad. And what was happening was when you tune and it grabbed a station, the AFC grabbed a station, there's just a little bit of a hum. And once I replaced those caps, that hum was gone. Sometimes you'll get that as you're going through stations. You hear like a little bit of a background hum coming in and out. That's as it's drawing power, and it's getting below the threshold at which the capacitor can filter. Here's something nice about this. I just want thumbs up on serviceability. You can get at every connection. Every connection, both top and bottom, is marked C52 plus minus. Like, it's amazing. The variable resistors that are for bias and center voltage, all labeled. Output transistors labeled. It's quite amazing. What I found in this circuit here, so this is actually for an entry-level receiver. Many entry-level receivers will have the main cap and then dropping resistors to get you to the voltage you want for different sections. This is different. It has 2 Zener diodes and 2 transistors as a basic regulator circuit. The Zener diodes in the base circuit of the transistor sets the voltage, and then of course at the emitter you'll get the same voltage as at the base. The collector voltage needs to be higher. So basically what I was finding is this one right here, supposed to be 22 volts, it's around 18. It's a little low. That could be the resistor. Where is it? Here's the resistor over here. Could be the Zener, but it also could be that some of these leaky transistors, and this thing, it's the one big negative on this. It's filled with C458 blackleg disease transistors. And I found sometimes in the past, when I've replaced those, the base current draw for that circuit will be less because of the leakage in the transistors. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to start changing diodes and Zeners in this section until the rest is rebuilt because it's close enough for now. The other circuit, which supplies the phono preamp, it's supposed to be 16 volts and it was 15.8, so it's working okay. So we'll see there. I couldn't get a capacitor, the main filter, the 2200. It's spread between here and here. It had like about an inch between the terminals, and the 3300 has half an inch, but there's this hole here. So the negative is soldered down, the positive comes through the hole, and then this jumper to here, and it's holding it down nice and solid. Sometimes you have to improvise. So my plan is to work through it, change the electrolytics, change the bad transistors, and just see if it perks up. I noticed the FM tuners perk up quite a bit. I'm going to show you a couple of this is what I've changed. Don't know if you can see it. Some of these United Chemcom actually have a plastic sleeve around them as well as the plastic that's around the metal part of the cap. It's interesting. I haven't seen that for a while. It's usually only the earlier ones. But they're all, none of them were leaky. None of them were bulged out. But this 220, I suspect, I put it on my cap tester. It was testing around the right parameters, no leakage, good ESR, but it was affecting the FM circuit. This is the 1000 microfarad between the output transistors, which are quasi-complementary, and the speakers, and there's a bit of a trace smoky smell in this, and like that smells burned when you sniff it. Although I don't see anything particularly wrong with it, it's not bulging out. But I'm actually going to boost, so the 2200 filters a 3300 now, 63 volts, and then the 1000 microfarad coupling caps to the speakers, I'm putting up to 2200 microfarads. That always seems to work good in amps of this vintage and of this power level. So that's kind of the plan on this one. I'm going to hang on to this one because of the history it has. And it's kind of like it's the only Fisher I've had in quite a long time. And I want to appreciate all the people that commented on the last video. I got quite a few replies and quite a few views. when I said Fisher might be the new Marantz. And I think I've hit on something there. Sometimes there's a product, and you know, it actually, I was having this conversation. Here's where I'm going with this. A friend of mine got a new car, okay? And he was looking for something affordable. And because car prices have gone crazy, everybody knows that. And he found a sedan that he liked, and it was at a reasonable price. This is like a 4 or 5 year old car, it's a new car to him. And the reason that the sedans right now aren't popular, and it's affecting the price. So sometimes you need to go, unless you're a multimillionaire, and even then many multimillionaires are very value conscious, sometimes you need to look at where the bargains are, what are undervalued. These are undervalued. Pioneer, for example, I have every Pioneer receiver I do of the classic era, they sell like that same day, even at solid prices. They might even be a bit overvalued, but also they're not making any more of them. Right now in cars, you've got all the, how can I put it, everything's some kind of hatchback SUV type vehicle. That's where the action is. So I'm thinking for my next car, I have a hatchback right now. I'm probably going to look for a sedan. You know, something that's not quite as popular. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll give you an update on this later.